Recording button.
Hi,
Double tap to
my
activate.
name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. And so I knit and crochet by feel. Now, I've been knitting for like 16 years and I've been crocheting for about a year. And I love to design my own garments. And so, one thing that I've really enjoyed doing is combining knit and crochet into garments on this. So this is a skirt in front of us on the camera that I designed myself. And the yarn that I used is right here. It's the Knit Picks in We Crochet Hawthorne DK in the color Astoria Tonal. It's blues and grays for anybody else out there who might be colorblind like myself. It is, I'm trying to remember, I believe it is 80% superwash Highland wool, and I think 20% polyamide for anybody who wants the details on it. So, where did this skirt start? Okay, well, as somebody who's fairly new to crochet, I'm all over YouTube and the internet, right? Trying to find some good tutorials, looking for some of the best teachers out there. And of course, one of the best crochet teachers that I found out there is Crystal at Bag O' Day. And so I set out to work one of her shawls. And this is her shawl. It's called Love of My Life. It's an easy shawl. And hers is an 8-pointed shawl. Here it is. Now, she put tassels on hers, fringe. I opted not to do that. But if I remember, I will do my very best to link that up in the bottom. So I took on this shawl in part because I just wanted to learn. I just want to get some crochet projects going, right? I'm just trying to learn how to crochet. And also, it's a beautiful shawl. I was looking for easy projects. So, but I also, as somebody who loves to make garments and loves to design garments, I know that for me to become better at that, I have to understand some of the basics of shaping, just like I do with knitting. I have to understand the basics of shaping, meaning how to add and subtract, how to use increases and decreases for my shaping. And so this shawl really allowed me to sort of understand the basics of shaping to make this shawl, right? To put the points on the shawl. So, anyways, after I was actually in the process of making this shawl, and I was thinking to myself, like, that would be really cool on a skirt, right? That was what went through my mind as I was working on the shawl, was like, that would be so cool to put that shawl on the bottom of a knit skirt. And so that's where I came up with this. Sorry about that. With this skirt was while I was still making the skirt, I was designing it sort of in my head, thinking like, I need to do a knit skirt on the top and then put that shawl on the bottom. Now, obviously, then that meant I had to do the math and figure out well, first I had to decide. Hers is an 8-pointed shawl, and I didn't want 8 points on my skirt, right? I wanted 6 points on my skirt, okay? Because we're looking at the front of my skirt. We got our side seams here. And so what I decided for my skirt was that I wanted a point on each side, right? On the left and the right. So that's what we have. And then I decided that I wanted 2 points in the front, and then of course the same thing on the back, right? 2 points on the back. So that meant once I made that decision for design that I needed to have 6 points on my skirt, and also that I needed to convert this pattern to working in the round. And as somebody who's new to crochet, that was a rather daunting task. I had to figure out the math, right? Took some serious mathing on my part to figure this out. And I'm still not totally sure how I did it, but one of the things I said to myself was I really would like to figure out, how to reconstruct this skirt, because the knit part's pretty basic, right? We got just our classic ribbing on top. This is made top down. We just got some ribbing on top for the waistband. Um, and then some stockinette and some hip increases on the side, right? And then we added on the crochet on the bottom. And I do have videos on my channel showing you what I call crow knitting, how to crochet right off your knitting needle. So I decided this summer that I wanted to remake this skirt and the knit picks that we crochet caught Lynn, just to kind of see how it worked up, how different fibers work up for the same pattern. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. Is you've seen this already on my channel on some, some Whip Wednesdays, working up the knit portion of the skirt. So with this is a DK, they're both DK weight yarns. So that basic part of the math was done for me. I know that with a DK weight yarn, for where I want this skirt to fall on my waist, I need 112 stitches around my waist for where I want it. And since I knit on 2 circular needles, that meant I was going to have 56 stitches on each needle, okay? So that's what we started out with here. It was 112 stitches total at our cast on, or 56 stitches on each needle. And so now I have to start thinking about how big I want this on the bottom, right? How much increases do I want to get before I work my points, right? Because we want to have 6 of those crochet points on our skirt. So here we are. I have done all of the knit part on here. And now I've already done the crow knitting part where I've transitioned from knitting to crochet. And I got about 5 rounds of single crochet, and then I got a round of some half doubles. And so now I want to start my double crochets here to do that ripple that we got going on here. And so what I have figured out is that because we need to divide this skirt up into 6 sections. And so each half, given that we started out with 56 stitches, I do need to add in some stitches to get it around my hips and around my butt, right? I need more stitches. I need more room there in my fabric. So I have added in some increases for my hips. And what I have determined is that I need, within each of these 6 sections around the skirt, we're going to have 3 on the front, right? And as somebody who is visually impaired, I'm a big believer in stitch markers. I need something tactile there on the fabric to say, hey, this is where your shaping's happening. This is where something is changing. This is where something different is going on. So I've got stitch markers all the heck over this project right now before I start my shaping. So what I've determined is that I want to have 3 sections of ripples on the front. And so I have increased my 56 stitches to 72 to get it comfortably to the fit and the flare that I want around my hips and on me on this skirt. So you can see I use just a simple knit through the front and the back to do my shaping on my hips. And so we can feel these and we can see these increases, right? We have 56, we've gone to I increase just 1 stitch on the left and the right of the front and the back. So that is 4 stitches per round, or 2 stitches per each side, right? Because we've got what we do on the left hip, we do on the right hip. The increases are mirrored there. So we went from 56 stitches on the front. We've increased to 58 to 60 to 62. Keep my finger there, to 64 to 66 to 68 to 70 and we should have one more here to 72. Okay, so I now have 72 stitches on the front and 72 stitches on the back, and I want 3 sections out of those 72 stitches. And so when you divide 72 by 3, you get 24. And that's what I need. I need to have an even number for these little peaks to start out with. Okay, that's what we want to start with, is an even number. So if you want more, then you want to add in, say the 72 isn't enough for you, or you just want more, then you would need to add it so that you had an even number in all 3 sections. Okay, so you'd have to take this section, each of these sections between my markers, right? We've got 24, but we've got a marker here. We've got we count the stitch with the marker on, that is stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You see that? We have 24 stitches starting with one marker and going to the next marker. And we have the same thing along here. We've got a marker. We've got 24 more stitches. We've got a marker. We've got 24 more stitches. And we repeat that on the back for a total of 72 stitches on each side. So if you need more, or if you just want more, right? Some people just want more flare in their skirt, and some people need more. It doesn't matter what your reason is, right? Then you would want to have an even number of stitches between, from marker to marker. So I have 24, you could increase this to 26. So there'd be 26 and then 26 and 26, which means you'd be adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you wanted to make this bigger, you would do it in 6, right? So you would increase it to 78, right? Because 72 plus 6 is 78. And I have plenty of room in my skirt. You can see where my hip increases ended with my 72. I still have plenty of room before I start my crochet section. I could have added, easily could have done another increase to 74 to 76 to 78. I certainly could have done that. It depends on when you want to start your crochet. So basically now we're going to start row 1 of this pattern to do this, and this is based off of crystals, except we're taking her pattern and we're working it in the round on as opposed to flat. And so we're not doing what she did on the ends there anymore. We're just focusing on the basics of the pattern. So in our stitch with our stitch marker, we're going to work a let's see, yep, I'm getting that right, a double crochet and a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and then we're going to work another double crochet right back in to this first stitch right here. And now I'm going to take my stitch marker off of here, and then I'm going to put this stitch marker right back on my little stitch here so that I don't lose track of what I'm doing here. Oh my goodness. I'd have to put my crochet hook down for a second. Okay, so now we've got our stitch marker on there, and so now what we're just going to do is let's see, that was in my first stitch. Yes, that was in my first stitch. Okay, so now we are just going to do a double crochet in the next 23 stitches. Okay, all the way across until we get to our next stitch marker, right? We're going to do 23 more because we had 24 stitches here in between. So we are going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch until we get to our stitch marker. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera, and when I get there, I'll get right back with you. Okay, so here we are, right? We started out here, we put our double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and now we've worked across, we put a double crochet in every stitch, and now we are at our stitch marker, our next stitch marker. So in that stitch marker, we want to do the same thing that we did in our previous stitch marker, and we want to do a double crochet, and then we want to do a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and then we want to put in another double crochet. Okay, and so now I'm going to pop off my stitch marker here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. If you don't want to work with stitch markers, once you feel those points, that's fine. I benefit from them greatly as somebody who works by feel. But of course, you do you. That's what we always say on this channel, right? So now I'm going to proceed, and just like I did in this last section, I'm going to put a double crochet in every single stitch, the next 23 stitches of this section. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and that's what I'm going to repeat all the way around this skirt. Okay, we've got 72 stitches on the front, 72 on the back, so I don't even know how many that is. At 140, maybe 144 stitches, something like that. So I'm going to proceed with that all the way around, right, all the way through this next section, I'm going to put a double crochet in every stitch until I get to my marker. When I get to that marker, I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into that marker, and I'm going to do that all the way around until I get back to this first one, and then I will see you there. I'm going to pause the camera and be right back. Okay, so I have just made it all the way back around to my very first point with my double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So by doing that evenly spaced around, right, around this entire project, we have started to form our 6 points, right? Just like on this skirt that I made, we have these 6 points. So that's what we've done here, is we've done these little spaces here. The double crochet, chain 3, this is our chain 3 space, double crochet. And so now we need to create the little valley. So we need to do row 2. This only takes 2 rows. So we need to go ahead and work our row where we do our decreases. So this is where we're at. This is what we do. I'm going to start this row. I've got my little stitch marker here in this little space. This is now our chain 3 point. So we're going to have 6 chain 3 points across the entire skirt. So in each chain 3 point, this is row 2. We're going to do a round 2, I should 3, a double crochet, chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and then we're going to put another double crochet in here. So we've got our points. Now we want to make our valleys, and this basically, what I'm teaching you here how to do is, a lot of people know how to do, a basic ripple stitch, right? Most people know how to do a basic ripple stitch afghan, where you create your points and your valleys, and then the shawls like Crystal has, this like taking that, and she shows you how to do the sides and the shaping and how to put that on a crescent shawl. And now I'm just teaching you how to take that and work that in the round. Okay, so we've got our first point here, a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So now let's see what we have here. Now from point to point, from marker to marker in each section, we should now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 double crochets, and that's what we want. So because to do our decrease now, in the very center of those 25, we're going to do a double crochet 3 together, and that's how we create the valley, right? We create the valley by doing a double crochet 3 together in the middle. So we have 25 stitches now. So we need to take out the middle 3 to work that decrease. So what we do is, no matter what, if you're using 78 stitches, right, like I talked about, then you just want to count your double crochets from point to point. It should be an odd number. And then you want to subtract 3. So for me, we're going to do 25 minus 3 equals 22. Okay, so 22, so that means that we're going to have 22 stitches where we just work a double crochet in, and then we're going to take our center 3 and do the double crochet 3 together. So with that 22, we have to split that in half, right? We want to do half on each side of the decrease. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. So that's what we want to do. I'm just trying to help. I know math. I like math. I know not everybody does. So I'm just trying to help you do the math. So you don't have to, right? I've done it for you. So we're going to do 1. Sorry, this is going to be a little time consuming. I'm not great at crocheting at this angle. So sorry, I'm a little bit slow, and I'm a slow crocheter anyways. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to work all of these with you just this one time. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And this should be our 11th. We will go back and double check just to make sure, right? We'd better to make sure now. I mean, we can frog. We are just crocheting. We can frog. It's okay to frog, right? But we'd rather not if we don't have to. So we are just going to make sure we have 11 double crochets here. This is our point, so we're not counting the point. Don't count your point. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so now we should have 11, 12, 13, 14. We should have 14 double crochets over here. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are going to want to have 11 double crochets on that side as well, which means we did our math correctly. We should have 1, 2, 3 stitches in the middle, and that's how we create our valley, as we are going to do a double crochet 3 together. So we go yarn over into the stitch and we pull through 2, and then we only do half of that double crochet because we're going to do a double crochet 3 together. So I'm going to yarn over our hook, we're going to go into that next stitch, we're going to drop a loop, we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and again we leave that one halfway worked, and now we're going to yarn over and go into the third stitch. This is how you double crochet 3 together. Drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook, and now we want to yarn over and pull through all of those loops that were on our hook. And that is how we do a double crochet 3 together. That's how we make the valley in our shawl, okay? So now we should have 11 stitches still here, unworked, right? After our 3 together on this side. So we're going to go ahead and work 11 more double crochets. I'll do those with you. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 1. Yarn over into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is 2. And we're going to do oh my goodness, I got that one all messed up. I'm going to have to pull that one out. That's the beauty of crochet. You can just pull out your hook and redo your stitch. If you don't like a stitch in crochet, just pull out your hook and redo. It's much more forgiving than knitting. Knitting, you gotta unknit your stitch if you don't like it. It's much harder. I still love knitting, but it's definitely easier to deal with mistakes in crochet. That should be 3. That should be 4. And 5. And 6. And into the stitch, drop a loop, pull through 2. Oh, I think I yarned over twice there. Yarn over, pull through 2. That should be 7. Into the stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, pull through 2. Oh my goodness, I keep getting my yarn over there twice. Oh my goodness. Yikes, we're going to redo that stitch too. Into the stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. To the next stitch, pull through 2. And I think, let me feel this, I think we got to be getting close to doing our 11 double crochets on this side of our decrease. Yes. And then I feel a stitch marker, so I just keep those stitch markers. Even though it slows me way down, I'd rather have the stitch markers. So I should have 11 double crochets. So that's what we should have here going on. We should have our double crochet, chain 3 double crochet. Now don't get confused and count that double crochet that you just did in your stitch count. This is after that, after the point. Your new one that you just created, your double crochet, chain 3 double crochet, does not count in your stitch count here. And now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we should have our little double crochet 3 together up here. This is the stitch right here. This is your double crochet 3 together. On the top, that's what it's going to look like, right? You got these 3 stitches that have been decreased. and then we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that should take us back to our next stitch marker, which becomes our next point, and into that point we work a double crochet, and then we work a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and we work another double crochet into the chain 3 point, and now I'm going to remove my stitch marker from there. Like I said, it's a little bit slow, it's a little bit tedious, but when you work by feel, it definitely tells you easily where your points are. Okay, and that is your 2-row repeat for this pattern. Right from here, I'm going to do the same thing again from stitch marker to stitch marker. I should have 25 stitches. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yes, I do. That's a good thing. So once again, we have 25 stitches from marker to marker. So same thing, we do the same math. We want to do a double crochet 3 together to create the little valley, right? This is how we start our shaping in our skirt, right? This is the skirt that we're trying to create. We're trying to create like a little, you see them all the time for sale, like they might call them like a hanky hem or a shark bite or a high-low hem. That's what we're doing with this skirt here, is we are just creating this type of hem. And so we've got our points with our chain 3 spaces, and then we've got these little valleys. That's your double crochet 3 together. And so that's what we're going to do. And with this is our first time that we're doing it, so it's not very pronounced yet, but as you go on and work this pattern, those peaks and valleys are going to get more and more pronounced each time, right? So you'll see them better. They'll have more shape. And you can make this skirt as long as you want. Mine goes to my knees. You could certainly make it all the way down to your ankles if you want and make it super flowy. You do you, right? When it comes to creating your own piece of art here. So with my 25 stitches here in the middle, I'm going to subtract 3, right? And that's going to leave me with 22. I'm going to work 11 double crochets across here to the middle, and then I'm going to do the double crochet 3 together, and then we'll do the decrease. Sorry about that. We'll do the decrease. Do people want to do that one more time? I hope it doesn't make the video too long. A part of me says people can rewind it, but I know some people just like to see it again, so we'll do it one more time. I know that working 11 double crochets for experienced crocheters can be a little bit tedious, right? You're like, get to the decrease. But I also know for beginners, sometimes people like to see it worked more than once. So we'll do 2. Three double crochets. Do the top of the stitch underneath the top 2 loops, pull through 2, pull through 2, that is 4. Yarn over underneath the top 2 loops, drop a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, that is 5. We gotta do 6 double crochets. 7. 8. do that one. Into the stitch, drop a loop. That is 10. And they should be 11. And we will go ahead and count them one more time just to make sure we got it correct. So again, you don't want to count the new double crochet that you just made in the point. So we want to start up here. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if we go to our next stitch marker, we want to have 11 double crochets on this side plus the 3 that we work in the middle. So 11 plus 3 equals 14. So we can count. I always count backwards. For some reason, it helps me to work right from the point that I'm going to count from there. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that should leave us 1, 2, 3 unworked stitches right here in the middle. We'll do the double crochet 3 together one more time. Yarn over the hook underneath, top 2 loops, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is how we work a double crochet 3 together. You don't do the second half for your double crochet. You yarn over, you go into the stitch, you yarn over, you drop a loop, you yarn over, and you pull through 2. You should have 3 loops on your hook. You yarn over, you go into the 3rd stitch, you yarn over and you draw up a loop, and you yarn over and you pull through 2. That should leave you with 4 loops on the hook. This is a double crochet 3 together. Hope I don't lose all my loops here. Oh my goodness. And then you yarn over and you pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is your double crochet 3 together. We're creating that little valley, right? We're creating the little valley in the middle. We got to work a decrease there, and that should leave us with 11 double crochets till we get to our next stitch marker. That's 1, and 2, and 3. Get you through to the next stitch marker. 4, 5 double crochets, and yarn over. Oh, not sure what I'm doing there. Oh my. Okay, yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2, and pull through 2. And this is 2 rows. That's it. Once you get going on this, oh, shoot. Woo! I almost cursed there. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Ooh, I almost said yeah. Some language almost came out of my mouth. Oh my goodness. That's what we'll say here. Oh my goodness. Yes, if I was not on camera, probably other words would have come out of my mouth, but we're on camera. So I just am, I do say all kinds of words in the privacy of my own home, but I also know that, a lot of people may have crochet videos on when they've got their children or their grandchildren around, and I don't want to be the person that teaches somebody's child or grandchild to say something that, they don't want them to say. So, if you want to teach your kids to say those things, you do you. We all have the right to say what we want, at least where I live. I live in the United States. You can say what you want. And I certainly do, but I also, want to be cognizant that I don't want to be the person that teaches somebody's child language that they might not want their child or grandchild to learn. So, anyways, okay. That should be, we're back to our stitch marker, right? I can clearly feel that. So we should have from marker to marker, first marker here, that's our double crochet, chain 3 double crochet. We do not count that. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And right here is our double crochet 3 together. That's going to feel a little bit wider. You should be able to pretty distinctly feel that stitch by feel. And then after that, we should have 11 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that brings us back to our point where we go and do a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that all the way around, okay? Be right back. Okay, so I've just made it back around. I'm back to my first point right here. So I'm going to start, this is my next, so that's the round where we create the decreases, where we do the double crochet 3 together. So now we're back to the first round, right? This is just 2 rounds, that's all we got to do. So we're going to start this one off in our first chain 3 space. Oops, I don't think I'm on camera, sorry about that. With a double crochet in a chain 3 and a double crochet, and that's how the round starts. And now I'm going to move my stitch marker up so that my stitch marker, at some point you're going to really easily distinguish oops, I don't think I finished my double crochet there. Oh my goodness, I got 3. Okay, there we go. Okay, you'll be able to feel these points pretty good. I'll probably still keep my stitch markers in there. They just help me out a lot. And so now we're back to the first row that we did. And we're just going to do a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in every single chain 3 space. And then in the top of every double crochet, we're going to work a double crochet all the way across. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's your 25, right? So we're going to work a double crochet in every single double crochet, including the decrease space, right? We're not going to do a decrease on this round. So that's the point of why I'm walking you through this, is now we've got our points, and now we've got the 25 double crochets. So now we're going to create 25 double crochets in this round without working any decreases. So basically this is your increase round, right? Every other round is going to be an increase round where you work the double crochet, chain 3 double crochet in the points without working any decreases. And then that second round is the one that we just did, where we work a decrease. And so our stitches, because this is an increase round, we won't decrease, and so our stitch count in between our markers will increase. So you just, if you lose track of what you're doing, right, you just need to count your double crochets in between your stitch markers, right, it should be an odd number. You should have an odd number of stitches between your chain 3 points. So you should take that odd number of stitches and you should subtract 3, and then that whatever that number is, that should then be an even number, and then you want to divide that by 2, and that will tell you how many double crochets to make before you get to your double crochet 3 together decrease point. And then you should do the same amount of double crochets on the other side to get back up to your next chain 3 point. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. Oopsie, I'm messing that up. So that's all that I'm going to do for my increase round on this round. I'll work it with you one more time so that we can do one more decrease round, just so you can see the math, right? You can see how the increases work, and so that I'm really having a hard time here getting these double crochets done tonight. Getting only under the 1 loop, so that you can see how the math changes. Every other round is a decrease round, and because we're working an increase round in between, your number of double crochets is going to increase, and so therefore your math is going to change just a little bit. You're going to use the same type of equation, right? But the numbers, I shouldn't say the math will change, but the numbers that you plug in will change when you work that decrease. So that's all. I will do that with you one more time just so that you can see it, right? So I think that was my decrease stitch right there. Yeah, so you don't do anything different in your decrease here. You just work a double crochet in it as if it were just a double crochet. Okay, so don't treat your decrease, your stitch from the round below where you worked your decrease, your double crochet 3 together, don't treat that any differently in this round. Work it as a double crochet. You'll feel it at the top. It's just going to feel like a double crochet, only a little bit wider. Just work it as a double crochet, nothing fancy. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'm on my way back up to my next point. Yeah, I don't want to make this too long for people. So I think I will go ahead and pause the camera and work my way around, right? Work my way around to the end of this round, because there's really nothing fancy about this round at all, except that in every single chain 3 point, we work a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Okay, let me go ahead and pause the camera. I'll get you to that point. We'll work that together one more time, and then I'll finish the round. Okay, so here I am. I'm back at my next point, and so, excuse me, sorry, into the chain 3 space, I'm going to work a double crochet and a chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Sorry, I have a really hard time telling if I'm on camera or not. So I have a hard time seeing my own camera. Okay, now I'm going to move my stitch marker up into the, there's my chain 3 space. I lost my chain 3 space. Into the chain 3 space that I just created, right in there. We're going to pop it in there. And then I'm going to continue all the way around, and I'm going to put a double crochet into the top, underneath the top 2 loops of every single double crochet all the way around the skirt, including into the decrease, right into the decrease where we did a double crochet 3 together. That just, it's gonna feel a little bit wider on top, but that's all. Just put a double crochet in there. Don't treat it any differently on this round than any other stitch. Okay, I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, so here we are. I have made it back to the beginning of my round. I have finished my increase round, and you'll notice what we should have here between our, I haven't done my new point yet to start this row. So we've got a stitch marker. Here's the beginning of the round. This is where I'm at right here. This is my new point. I'm going to work a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and there. But you'll notice if you go to your next stitch marker, what we should have in between is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, okay? Because this last round was an increase round. So we went from 25 to 27 double crochets in between our chain 3 points, okay? So that means that the equation doesn't change. It just means that we plug in different numbers, right? So let me work this double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet into our point, okay? So now we have 27 stitches between each of our stitch markers. And so again, we know that's an odd number, and we want to work an decrease. Basically, we want to work one of those valleys. We want to work a decrease round. So what we have to do in the very middle of our 27 stitches is work a double crochet 3 together, right? So that's 3 stitches out of the 27. So we take 27 minus 3, that equals 24. So that means we want to have 24 stitches. So we take that 24 then, because the double crochet 3 together goes in the very center of the 27. So that means we have 24 stitches. So we divide 24 by 2. That gives us 12 stitches. So we want to work 12 double crochets, right, from the point here where we just did our double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. We're going to work 1, 2, 3. We're going to work 12, and then we're going to work our double crochet 3 together, and then we're going to work 12 more, okay? So every other round, when you work that little valley, right, when you put that decrease in the double crochet 3 together in every other round, that's going to increase. So we're going to have 25 this time. The next time we're going to have, we had 25 last time. This time we have 27 stitches. The next time we will have 29 stitches, and so on and so on. That number of stitches that you have is going to increase by 2 every other round, like that. So you just keep plugging in that number, right? So then when we have 29, then we subtract 3 from the 29. That gives us 26, and then we divide the 26 in half, and that gives us 13. So that tells us then that we work 13 double crochets before we work the double crochet 3 together in the center, okay? So I just wanted to show you that just in case anybody was confused on what happens, that you use the same equation, you're just going to have 2 more stitches every time before your double crochet 3 together. You're going to basically have 1 more stitch than the previous round. So 2 more stitches in the round total, meaning 1 more stitch before you work the decrease, right? The first time we had 11. This time we're going to have 12. Next time we're going to have 13, and so on. I've totally lost track of how many double crochets I've done. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I will work these 12 with you. Into the stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. That should be 9. This should give me 10. Yarn over, into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That should be 11. This should be our 12th. Double crochet. We'll go back and we'll double check and we'll count again because we want to be sure instead of frogging. Not that there's anything wrong with frogging, right? We just learn from our mistakes. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can also go to our stitch marker on the other side here, right? And we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should leave us 1, 2, 3 stitches right there to work our double crochet 3 together. I'll do that with you one more time. Yarn over into the stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You leave that stitch halfway worked. You go into the next stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, you pull through 2. And that should leave you, you want to do our third one. So we're going to yarn over one more time. We're going to go into the third stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. We should have 4 loops on our hook. And then we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 3. And I hope I did that one correctly. I think so. And my yarn split a little bit there. That's what happened there. And pull through 4. Okay, that was my double crochet 3 together, and that should leave me 12 more stitches to work to get to my next stitch marker. Okay, so that's how your math is going to go. You work a decrease round. Every other round you will gain 2 stitches, right? You will gain 2 stitches because your previous round is an increase round, right? And where you don't. That's why you only work the decrease every other round. And you can already tell the more that you work it, the more pronounced that is going to get. Okay? So I'm going to end this now because I think it's getting really long and I don't want it to be too long. But hopefully that helps you understand how you convert a sort of ripple stitch pattern from a crescent shawl into the round for skirts, for ponchos, tablecloths, whatever you can imagine you can do with yarn and needles and hooks. Okay, thanks so much for listening. I really hope this helps you with the math, right? Because that's what most people get tripped up on is the math. They find it complicating. So I've done the math for you. I've given you the explanation, given you the equation. Have fun, happy stitching, happy creating. Until next time, bye-bye for now. Happy stitching.